What's up, Ivies? I know you see the title of the video. If you like frogs, and I like frogs, you gonna watch me carve a piece of wood, kind of like one of these, into a frog, for good luck. That's pretty straightforward. It's not even much yap, but you'll see me get this done. But before you see me touch up this wood, you gotta get in the green.
Can't say how I'm feeling inside. I wanna be serious, but got too much pride. I wanna be serious, but I'm really here. Don't really like here, but I tell you I tried. I did everything else but cry. I done smoke all my weed, young nigga on fried. You can see all this shit in my eye.
I know. Every time I interrupt right after the intro to give you another message just before we actually start. Remember to like the video, subscribe for more, comment and let me know something. Y'all act like y'all scared to talk to me. Watch me carve up this wood. And if you doing something similar, doing something the same, let me know what's up. But anyway, let's get started with the process. I had to first draw out the dimensions of the box. Now, I thought I was so big brain for this, but I still was missing a few things across the way, if you get what I mean. Like, you can see here I'm plotting out the size. I'm making sure that I have a good representation of the, spaces, measures of the face of this block, right? So I draw it out, and I draw it out again on the second page so that I have the different angles, so that once I'm actually inside doodling, I can get the design within. Now, when I was originally recording this, I just had some music on in the back. My food's done. I had some music on in the back, right? But obviously I can't play that on YouTube, and I didn't have any dialogue when I was plotting this, because it's like, what is there to say while I'm doing it? I gotta lock in. I gotta be the most locked in any man can be. There's only really two scenarios where a man has to lock in the most, and that's prison and fatherhood. And that's why you see a lot of men do the dash. But honestly, I'm not even a misogynist. Honestly, anybody's locking in on parenthood. Anybody's locking in when it comes to jail. Or honestly, a lot of people would give up. I don't even think you need nuts to give up on anything. But anyway, check out what I got going. So here, I'm marking down the lines amongst the face of the block, so that I have a good idea of the ratios of the space once I break them down amongst the sketch. Because I wanted this frog to have a bowl in its palm. I wanted it to be cross-legged, and I was hoping I could put a flower at the top. But truth is, it didn't pan out how I wanted it to. It was more of, I'm not an experienced whittler. Yeah, I got my whittling shit and Boy Scouts, but that's not enough. Not with the tools I was using. Before, I carved a Christmas tree with only a pocket knife. And it was like a pocket, it was like a Christmas tree the size of a Roku remote, so it wasn't anything special. It was slim, but it was impressive, and it took some time. This frog that I have, it's still not even done. Well, according to the voiceover guy, not the guy in the video. In his world, the frog doesn't exist. Ain't that crazy how time works? One moment, things don't exist, and then soon they do. It's kind of like they already have. I know I'll be on here yapping, but when I be talking about the imaginative ether and, talking to the world and the voices of many things, it's that I feel like the surreal, abstract nature of the world has to be spoken to. And that's why we have iconography, images, words, sign language, messages, numbers. It's because the abstract things that we can't touch and feel have to now be given a form here. And in that way, when we give these abstract, intangible concepts a form through words, through iconography, image, sculpture, any sort of actual practice, or even dance, writing, we give birth to so many new things. And so the world is far more than just the things we touch. Because for me, for a long time, I've been able to see exactly what I imagine in my head, almost as vivid as real life. But that's enough yap. If y'all want to hear me talk more about, the imaginative ether and the surreal and the abstract and the intangible and the concrete, let me know in the comments. But right here, what I'm doing, I've got it mapped out. The head, the positioning of the arms, the cross legs, and the base of my Ikenga-inspired frog wood carving. I named him Waddle. That's the name I settled upon. Right there, I think I'm just plotting out the different sections and how many inches they are. I think I was doing it by fives. It was like 15 inches of wood. Is it? No way, that's 15 inches. This cannot be. No! This cannot be longer than a foot. I refuse to believe that. So, if you heard that off screen, what has occurred is a technical malfunction, but we are going to move past it and act like it didn't occur. Anyway, I don't think this wood is 15 inches, but I was oh no, it was 15 centimeters. Yes, okay, I was using the metric system here. I remember. Use the metric system to get down 5 centimeter spaces, and I divided the head, the flower up top, and then the lower body. Because the original plan was a flower up top, a bowl in the palms, and it'd be cross-legged, but you'll see the result by the end of the video. I didn't finish it because honestly this video would have been a lot longer trying to actually go through the entire process. Even if I chopped it up, I still gotta make content, still gotta make videos, so might as well just do it in parts. You'll actually see me progress with this whole thing. Right here, what you see currently, I think I was plotting out the side. And even though I did plot it out like I thought I did, I didn't. The sides were not symmetrical. If anything, in the final product, the guy kind of looks like he's weighing his options with his arms. If you know what that means, you'll see by the end of the video. But it's more of the shoulders, arms, elbows. It's not even at all. I made some cool. I think it holds value to me, despite its flaws. But out of anything I've made, the flaws within it are the most evident. But that doesn't matter, guys. What does matter is that I was able to get the idea, the communication, the message of the frog that I wanted for the statue. And I think that's why it works. And there are other more details I wanted to add to it, but anyway, let's get on to the next step and see the progress.
Honestly, go.
Now here I begin with the pocket knife. Again, I did a lot of carving off screen because to get that rectangular monolith to look like a cylinder was already going to take a whole lot of work. I mean, the first thing I had to do was basically get these corners for the head and torso and leg section into a cylinder. That was the first easiest way to get this done, because if I don't round it out, I really have no other way to begin. So I whittled down the corners with my pocket knife in a family-friendly manner, not in a mean way. And I kind of just used this tool to communicate to the wood what I'm feeling. I'm receiving back what it's feeling, and eventually the form of this frog statue is starting to appear underneath the surface. It's kind of like when people quote Michelangelo of talking about his, stone sculptures. He isn't really coming up with a concept to make out of stone, but he's kind of having the shape reveal itself to him. And that's kind of how it feels, because even when you're not finished, you can kind of see the final product in the latency of its current view. I hope that makes sense. But here, I'm kind of just swapping out the tools, seeing what I got, just checking out the arsenal. Because I think I got these wood carving tools from my brother a Christmas or 2 or 3 ago. I don't know. Time is just so different. It's so different now. Nobody really tells you that the older you get, your childhood just gets more clear, regardless of how you treat your memory. But anyway, I'm using these tools, and they're having me do a lot of more refining and more minute work. I can kind of whittle out the sections for the arms and legs, and I can start to create the divisions I need amongst the parts so that it'll be easier to give them their shape. But over the course of this whole thing, you'll see me basically poke myself with these tools probably a few times. But here I'm trying to get that division between the skull of the frog and the shoulder of the arm, just making the head and torso separate. That's what I was focused on with that tool. So I'm not really going with the grain or against it. I'm just kind of mowing through it with a U-shaped carving tool, just for the sake of putting down the guidelines in the wood. And it's helping me out. It's giving me the progress I needed to kind of shave that head around. But a lot of this work, the splinters I got, the wood shavings everywhere, I'd say it was in some way worth it because it felt nice to get this done. But like the actual effort, the physical effort to like grind away while my wrist is already like damaged, that definitely took a toll on me, I have to admit. But I still had fun, and I definitely like that I have this little statue for myself. It's a sort of declaration or a sort of vow to the positive energy I put into it and the things that I truly want to have gravitate toward me. I did a lot of picking, carving, whittling off camera in my spare time. Even though, because I do love my crafts, but I don't want to turn every aspect into like art. So oftentimes, the cuts you're seeing isn't even that the footage was recorded and cut out. It's just that I turned it off and I was like, all right, I'll just do whatever here. Because while I do like to bounce between products and projects, it's harder to just stick to one thing for me sometimes. I don't know what song was on. That's Magnolia Rain. Definitely is. No way it's not. Anyway, you can kind of see the divisions between the base, the torso, and head, and the arm is starting to come into view. This frog is starting to have its own means of reaching toward the imaginative ether for itself. This statue will act as a conduit between me and the abstract forces that I draw upon to bring real form in this reality. It's like a battery. But I've spoken about this before in a previous video, so it was either artist political or watch me carve this wood. And you'll understand my mentality when it comes to this process of giving these objects or imbuing them with a sort of self-energy or hope or consideration. I'm not necessarily a mystic, but I do believe that the things I'm doing have an effect on my mind that will allow me to develop it in ways that'll benefit me, you know? It's about more of the cultivation of the self rather than putting my eggs into a basket with no actual base. It eases the mind and it puts a very human part of me in a still calm to create. It allows me to grasp at a better understanding because I'm having conversations to the world through tools, through creation, through actual conversations. I've been developing my understanding of things because I'm taking the chance to take what I know and apply that to make something new. It's having me move lenses that I look through. It's having me change the tools that I use or changing the angle that I use them. I do love creation, I love art, and I had to give wood carving a try because I'm an illustrator and a newfound painter, comic creator, writer, but I haven't whittled in a while. So I had to give it another try. I liked it when I was younger, so I felt that I should return to it again this time, but with a real purpose, something new for myself. Especially when I try new mediums, I have to, do references and copy, but with this wood carving, I kind of just went at it. Drew something up, had a direction, and that's what I did. I had a direction to go in, and that helped me with this process a lot. Here, I'm fairly sure this is the back. This is the back. And what I had to do was essentially shave away at the top excessively and make that division between the skull and the back so that I could whittle away at that top back head so that I had space. I had to essentially use a negative space within the carving to justify the shape. But I mean, that's sculpting. I think that's obvious. I'm just using words. But you know what I mean. I had to get rid of the wood to make it look more like something else. My food is done. I haven't gotten up yet. Anyway, these tools were a hassle. They are a bit dull, but I do appreciate having them. And they made the experience cool because picking up different tools to approach a situation definitely kept my mind more active. And it had me taking a lot of my steps into consideration, but also had me more comfortable with others that I were familiar with. You get me? So I could approach a situation and, okay, I'll do this. This is what I'll do. This is how I'll push myself forward. And so, honestly, I don't regret doing this at all. And I'm glad I took the time to even get it done. But, yeah, I had to do a lot of it off camera. I'd say overall, I can't tell you how many days this took me. It probably took me about a month and some change to get started. Well, first the idea has to come to me. I have to speak it into existence, and I have to kind of envision it and plot out the process of getting that done. I have to slowly break up these plans bit by bit until they're real. And that's why I have that Thomas Sankara quote in my bio, anything that man can imagine, man can create. That's why I feel like things that exist now have always existed. Just like the stuff that makes me up right now has existed for a long time. That's why, I try to speak that often, that things don't die. They just change form when the previous form is no longer sustainable. Whatever makes me up now has already existed for such a long time. And so if I had to ascribe a belief to what I feel, I'd probably say, quantum reincarnation or something. The atoms that make me up, whatever makes up my mind, or whatever makes up a human soul, well, those things will disperse and separate into many pieces, like grains of sand. It's like grains of sand joining into new piles of sand. I'll be a new pile of sand in the next life. Maybe a piece of the grains that made up the experience of Dante will now be a tree. Some pieces of that experience will now be a bird, or pieces of that experience will now be a chair, even. The physical matter that makes me up will now be made into a chair or a hamburger. God forbid. Well, not God forbid. I don't really worship a God. Well, word forbid. I don't want to speak that into existence. Becoming a hamburger? That is ominous. That is an ominous way to start living life. But I guess you're not living. So I guess I can't be mad for a portion of me turning into a hamburger. But you get what I mean? The same way all the materials that come together to make the oil paints come together with different strokes of colors, come together with different things to make a canvas, to make a piece of art. We are just different pieces of the universe experiencing itself. Cultivating, refining, doing it all over again. And I guess that's where in a lot of beliefs, religious beliefs, you find the cyclical nature of the universe. So whatever people believe now, whatever new findings we come across have probably already been learnt years ago. Whatever's been here has been here for a long time. And I think people don't really remember that enough. But I think that's why it's so cool that we can come back to this earth time and time again and show itself how beautiful it is. I mean, because some things really just don't exist without an observer. But anyway, look at this carving, y'all. Look at it. I'm whittling away at this skull, getting the base made. I mean, I made a lot of progress. I think the song on there might be Luther. Yeah, I'm fairly sure. I don't even know what playlist of mine that might be. If it's like the Ether one, then honestly, the next song that should play is Controlling by Destin Conrad. No. I don't think Destin Conrad's on that one. I think it's Aaron Ray. I love both their music. Honestly, are they on a song together? I gotta find out soon. I really be having my music full when I be making art, because YouTube might distract me, Hulu might distract me, Netflix might distract me. Might as well just put some music on and go from there. See? Hit myself again. It keeps happening. It's so annoying, I promise you. But even with the hurt fingers, the splinters, the mess, the effort, the huffing and puffing, the confusion, I did almost want to give up on this thing. I'll be honest with you, because it was starting to look a little unappealing. But I pushed through because I value what I set out to do. I knew that it would matter to me. I knew that I would look at it with favor because I made it. And so that's why I'm glad I stuck to that even now, knowing that regardless of its form, I enjoy Waldo for what he is. Not a tool, but a conduit for everything hopeful in this world, everything positive within myself. I'd like to continue to draw that in. I'd like to continue to bring that into my orbit. And so I made it. I made a little wood carving of a frog that's cute for my own spiritual belief purposes. But it's less about spiritual and more about bringing things into the real world. I don't know what other people call it, but I'm kind of just doing my own thing, whether it's with these tattoos or with the art I make, because I know that when I pass, there will be a noticeable gap in this world. I'll leave an imprint behind that this universe will seek to fill again. So maybe the grains of sand that make up Dante and everything else, me, it's rare that I refer to myself in third person, I promise, but everything that makes up me will return again into a new pile of sand. Maybe close enough to the previous one, but still ever more so different. And I think that's great, that uniqueness can still shine even if the pieces that make me up love themselves enough to reconverge. That's what I believe in. And I guess that's probably why Fullmetal Alchemist might be like, one of my favorite animes aside from like JoJo's, One Piece. Sonny Boy and Parasite the Maximum are great honorable mentions. Right here you can see me putting in this wood. I'm plotting it out, carving. It's no different than before. This whole process won't be a voiceover, but for the first bits of the footage, I was just chilling carving. I had to at least get y'all to see that I was doing this, but clearly it does look like I made it. Honestly, sometime in the future, I should do like story time videos of my time as a Boy Scout. I think that'd be cool. I can't animate, but I could do like those drawn story times, or at least just tell the story in some format. I'll find a way, because it's not like my life is overly interesting, but there's probably a lot to share and things for me to re-sift through and look through with a new, older, mature lens. So honestly, if y'all want those story times or any more art tutorials or anything like that, let me know. I like making videos like that. I like making videos like this. And even if I don't make the videos, I'll still be trying to create stuff. So it's definitely valuable for you to show up, comment, and let me know how you feel. But aside from that, we're going to move on.
Honestly, go.
What's up, guys? I have this much done. I think I'll name him Waddle. But this is supposed to be the frog votive. Not votive. I keep calling it votive. This is going to be my Froggy King statue. Or at least an akin to a frog. Akin to an Ikenga statue. But this is what we got. I did some off-screen mining. Yeah, I know. But I'm probably going to have to, a lot of this stuff like kind of sped up and then just skipping ahead, It delivers for like an interesting experience. I don't know how I'll title the video. Oh, I built a totem for good luck. But interesting enough, it's turned out fairly well. I mean, but that's because I had the tools and because I've at least had experience whittling before. And I still got this whole block up here that I was going to turn into a flower. But I've made some great progress on this. And I've had a lot of fun. Like, it's like the more I chip away at it, it's like the more power I have, almost. I don't want this one. I want a different one. Yeah. What y'all listening to right now? Nothing. Type shit. I got Zeddy Will in my ear. Like, I'd see his TikToks. And then now it's like, it's crazy to see him go from like just TikTok in his room to influencer, making music. Like, it's cool to see somebody have an avenue where they can do so much. It's like, I wouldn't mind doing the same thing. But I just want to put some of my emotion into my own future. Invest that. And I guess that's what this will stand for. A frog with his palms to the ether. With all respect. I needed like a specific lighting. Now I got Magnolia Rain in my ear. It's pretty good. Pretty good song. I like some Sense music. I gotta become like a mega fan soon. Just like how I did with like Jordan Ward and Carter Ace. I gotta give Smino more attention. But I've also been getting like Distant Conrad, Aaron Ray, Black Odyssey. I love that music. I'm stuck because it's like the only thing more is to truly get this down, son. Because the initial idea, was like, I guess it had more detail than I thought it could. I need like some mechanical tools with like wires and like rotors, and I was gonna have his feet come in like right here, so he's like kind of kneeling, I thought that'd be pretty cool. It's just a lot more soft toward the center, so it's just easier to carve and hack away at, especially now that I have like the curvature to like really implement the the digs. And it's so easy to like cut myself and stuff too.
Honestly,
so this is what I got so far. I don't know if I've already showed you this, but like, yeah, I'm doing a lot of this off camera, but I do want to at least compile the progress into a video so you can at least see me go about it. But it's gotten to a comfortable shape. Like even my niece can kind of recognize that this is a frog. But people are a little busy outside. I wanted to at least just show this off because I keep working on it mostly off camera. But it's hard to make these progress videos and like yap at the same time about anything, because it's like, what is there to talk about for like minutes on end? A lot of the time I do work in silence. Like I'm recording that oil painting video at the same time as this one, so I don't even know if this will be out first or that one. But my painting's sitting over there just kind of chilling. I've gotten more comfortable oil painting. Like I think one of the few times y'all seen me paint on camera, I had no clue. But I've grown, and that's great. Regardless of which one comes out first for y'all to see, at least there's progress made. I don't know if I'll paint this, but if I do, I guess I'll have to use acrylic. I'm trying to get this piece right here kind of like separated so the arm doesn't seem so ingrained. I promise you I'm not ashy, that's oil paint. Well, I might be a little ashy. Okay, both, probably. Ignore I said that. I really do want this piece here kind of dealt with. Like this curved tool is like a great benefit because it's helped me dig into this wood easier. I don't know what it's going to be like trying to sand this thing down. Obviously I could cut a piece from the sandpaper I already have, but so far I do enjoy this thing. Like it's giving me something to do. I kind of enjoy the step-by-step process of carving my own kind of Luck statue, even though I still have this whole section up here to work on. And I might leave it for some time, unless I turn it to like a part 2, because honestly, I don't even know how long the footage is. Probably not that long, I believe. But sometime I'll have to do another podcast episode, because I haven't done one in a while. So much has happened in America, and some things have happened in my life. Besides content, even though, yeah, I've been at home a lot more, I'm not as employed as I was once before, it means that I'm working on my art a lot more. Because I want to work on E-Kings as my job. I want to make art prints as my job. I want to be more involved in the world of art as my job. I don't think that's crazy to say. I don't think it's crazy to pursue that, but it does mean I'll have to give up the time and love to practice that just to maintain income. That's why I ask y'all to support the Patreon. Not just for these videos, but because there's more things I want to introduce you all to and actually be able to deliver physical things to you. A more encompassing experience. These are all steps to like a greater plan. And so I hope I can see you all there for the fruition of that. Not that it isn't like coming together now. I'm quite proud of it. Though I should still take it easy with my wrist. I'm still trying to come out with chapters of Eat Kings. I know that's basically all I talk about. But it's like when you spend so much time doing one thing, you're going to talk about it a lot. I spend a lot of my time making art, spend a lot of my time creating, or lamenting, or worrying, or engaging in vices, listening to music. Yeah, my existence is a bit simple. I'm a homebody. I don't think that's inherently wrong. I think it's great that I can enjoy my life a little more after high school. That I at least have a direction I want to go in with career, work, school, you know. I'm getting older. That'll bleed later. I don't know if many Ikenga statues were supposed to have offerings like blood in them. But a statue for my luck that looks like a frog with my blood just seeping into it, maybe that makes it special. Or maybe it just makes me irresponsible. And also, probably my tools are dull. I don't know how to sharpen them. I don't know where to get a kit to like sharpen these. And this is not even the first cut I've gotten on the thumb. There are others. One on my palm, one on the base of my thumb and there. But y'all see how crazy the world is becoming. Like every week there's something happening in different states and cities. Now people are talking about the purge in Pennsylvania. It's actually insane what's going on. But all we can do is help our neighbors out. Because at least the man a few houses away knows my struggle probably a lot more intimately, or at least could relate to it easier than the people who make the decisions about what goes on in the streets. Because they don't even sit and look on these streets for long enough to actually know what goes on. Shit's crazy. I'm gonna probably make a sketchbook tour in a bit as well, because I want y'all to check it out, honestly. And it might be one of my worst sketchbook tours. Not because the sketchbook is bad, but because my wrist is more injured than before. And yet I keep working on artwork. But I'll probably have that sketchbook tour out probably sooner than this video, because I really don't know where I'll stop with this thing. I mean, I have to sand it, you know. I'm not sure how to do this unless I have like more intimate tools, like to chisel away details. Ooh, my voice shook a bit. I'm not messing with this song. Play like Samara Sin or something. Like I remember seeing that Tyler the Creator interview where he's talking about how people have favorite music tastes or like albums, but their taste is curated for someone else to approve of, not like things connected to them. And it's that people, you know, they try to move with the crowd. And there's nothing wrong with that because it's a nice flow. But when you don't know why you're moving with the crowd, it kind of shows your movement is meaningless. Or at least it doesn't serve you. It just serves to make the path a little easier. But it won't get you what you want. It'll just bring you somewhere else that someone else is commandeering or mandating. In all honesty, the issues are really, anything else would probably come about with paint. I could probably begin sanding. Unless I don't know. I guess I could like kind of get more into this space here. Because obviously the eyes are at the top. Give him one of those. I'm gonna sneeze. I was gonna sneeze. I thought I was. I really did. My dog going nuts in the background, chat. Ugh. Getting that backside dug in. Digging in that boy back. Hell yeah. You see that? That's what we're working on. Need to get the feet parted so you can kind of see that he's cross-legged.
Honestly, go.
I've got the kind of feet in the back carved out. He does look more like he's kneeling, but the arms aren't really even. I'm not ashamed of it. Like, it's not a bad mix, not a bad make. Just, you know, rough. Very. It'll need paint and everything else. Probably get that chin whittled out some, you know? Look. But hey, I did this. All that hard work paid off, man.
Honestly, go.
Yo, this is what I got so far. The arms are a little lopsided. There's not much of a smile to speak of, but so far it's taken just the right form for me to feel like it's doing its job. But if y'all want to like see, if y'all want me to like do another vid where I truly get this whittled down some more, maybe even painted, I'll do that, because I don't want this video to be too long, because then it just won't come out, you know? It'd just be easier to make them in parts until I actually have the resources to do much longer videos. But I do appreciate you for watching. I'll do another little outro to give this video some substance. But here's Waddle. So now we got more characters to the cast. We got I feel like SpongeBob in his room where he has the napkin and the paper chip and then the coin. We got Dondre. I think this is a turkey or goo. Man, this gotta be turkey. And here's Waddle. We got Dondre and Waddle. Soon there'll be more characters. But so far, I'm very proud of where my art is moving, because I've gotten the chance to improve and explore some other things, even if they're not the most sightly. But like I said, if y'all want to see me truly get this thing more refined, show up, let me know in the comments. But check out the Patreon. I try to get these videos out on there sooner, as well as my comic. You should read it. I love E-Kings. I've been working on it. Hopefully I can see a doctor soon about my wrists, because if it gets any worse, making art won't even be my real issue. It'll be working in general. I'm right-handed, so I'll have to get it looking at. But I'll try to keep up other activities so I can actually continue working and making artwork soon. Y'all gonna see E-Kings in a bit, and then maybe in the future, animations, fan animations, music. But anyway, I won't hold you too long. Let's get to that little outro. I want to talk standing up.
Honestly, go.
I appreciate you watching. I think Waddle appreciates the viewership as well. Like I said, come back. Hopefully you'll see me do more of the process of reforming Waddle into how I envisioned him, how I showed you. But I do all these videos because I love creation, because I believe in it in almost an obsessive manner. And while maybe that's a bit bizarre, it's kept me living. It's one of the few hollow things, or I guess one of the few non-hollow things in this world that keeps me satiated. So I continue, because why not? I have a lot of fun. And I feel like if more people were able to have the time to do the same, or the space, the place to do the same, it'd feel a lot better too. But I'll save my words for whatever. I won't hold you too long. You gotta get in the green. But nah, I think I'll leave you be. But I do appreciate you watching. Like and subscribe. Comment, let me know about Waddle or Dondre or whatever you created for yourself. People lose sight of themselves in the fast pace of this world. I hope this is a chance to not feel rushed, Even if I do tell you to drive your day. Thank you. Bye.
Honestly, go. Can't say I'm feeling inside. I don't wanna be sales, but got too much pride. I don't wanna be sales, but I'm really hip. Don't really like hip, but I tell you I tried. I done did everything else but cry. I done smoke all my weed, young nigga on fried. You can see all this shit in my